Here now, because next is your request. Sprawless's request for the month. Adele, I Drink Wine. I don't know. I don't think I've heard this song. I remember there was some quote of her being like, "Give me another glass of wine" on some talk show or something. A very transparent song that feels like a page from her diary. Lots of vocal acrobatic, and one misstep that I can hear that she handles like a pro. Excellent. Adele is a risky singer. There's no surprise that she's had, everyone knows about Adele's vocal surgeries and everything else, blah, blah, blah. But with that being said, she does it for the sake of the full expression of her art. I think people are too harsh on her, mainly because she's gained so much success by setting herself up in a way that sometimes facilitates failure, but I wouldn't even call it failure. I'd just say it's being human. But this happens every time we listen to Adele. We have that little conversation. Let's go. I Drink Wine by Adele. Live at the BRIT Awards.
How can one become so bounded by choices that somebody else made?
Please mercy on us, copyright gods.
How can we both become a version of a person we don't even like? We're in love with the world, but the world just wants to bring us down by putting ideas in our heads that corrupt our hearts somehow. When I was a child, every single thing could blow my mind, soaking it all off for fun, but now I only soak up wine.
Dude, she's so awesome. This is such an awesome vibe that she's giving off. Her voice has changed so much over the years. Like, let's just do an experiment while we're here. Thirteen years ago.
Hi, I'm Adele, and this is Billboard.
Just listen. 13 years ago.
I've made up my mind. Don't need to think it over. If I'm wrong, I am right. Don't need to look no further. This ain't a loss. My album goes #1 was.
And also, look at a picture. She looks so different. Pop up, please. Let me find it. This is it. This is her. Look at that. 2008. And listen to the voice.
Lost. I know this is love.
So there's that grit in there. Now what's happening there, that was an over occlusion of the chords. It was basically like doing a vocal fry, but sending more air and pressure, which is really not good for the voice. But still, regardless, an amazing sound. So now we go back to this after having several voice surgeries, coming back, creating a dynasty as a musician, becoming a world superstar. And look at this.
Now I only soak up wine.
But her voice has changed regardless, Yeah, I think it's better. I like it.
It's easy to play hard, you work hard, find balance in the sacrifice. Yet I don't know anybody who's truly satisfied.
Yeah, me neither.
You better believe and try to keep climbing. But the higher we climb, feels like we're both none the wiser.
Well, of course, yeah, there's definitely been some vocal maturity happening, a little bit more color and depth. but it's also the way that she's engaging the sound with her. This is so cheesy, but the way she's engaging with her emotions. Every inhale is an inspiration, both physically and the fact that inspiration means taking in air, but also and emotionally that it sets up the line to create this seamless and frictionless emotional expounding, right? Oh, Capriani coming in hot with the 10 gifted subs. Thank you for being here. You got here for a great recording of Adele. Here are our lyrics so far, too. I think this is a really cool song because it's incredibly identifiable. How can one become so bounded by choices that somebody else makes? How come we've both become a version of a person we don't even like? We're in love with the world, but the world just wants to bring us down by putting ideas in our heads that corrupt our hearts somehow. There's two perspectives to that, right? There are either the world is harming us or we are harming ourselves. You know, it's the perspective that changes how we can wrestle with that. Anyway, that's besides the point. When I was a child, every single thing could blow my mind, soaking it all up for fun. But now I only soak up wine. Facts, dude. Anyone have a good wine night recently? We haven't done that in a little while. It's time. Dorkney just got back. How was your exam? She passed, so she won. She can now make more money. They say to play hard, you work hard. Find balance in the sacrifice. Yet I don't know anybody who's truly satisfied.
So I hope I learn to get over myself. Stop trying to be somebody else, so we can love each other for free. Everybody wants something. You just want me.
That's really well put. We think we have to look a specific way, have a specific kind of job, a quote unquote great job, you know, that makes us a lot of money, right? She's shaking her butt. I'm so proud of you. But regardless, she's not doing it because the world makes her think she wants to do it, right? You better believe I'm trying to keep climbing. But the higher we climb, feels like we're both none the wiser. So I hope I learn to get over myself. Stop trying to be somebody else so we can love each other for free. Everybody wants something. You just want me. See, so that can be sweet, or it can be like, yo, I'm Adele. Stop telling me what to do. Let me live my life. Because you know she's dealt with those kinds of pressures. And again, it's a really beautiful universal idea that someone in this, you know, celebrity position can create and experience, but then also relate it to what, you know, everyone deals with. And that's good, popular music.
Why am I obsessing about the things I can't control? Why am I seeking approval from people I don't even know?
Stop that. And that face sums it up perfectly. No need to seek approval from people you don't know.
In these crazy times, I hope to find something I can cling on to. 'Cause I need some substance in my life, something real, something that feels true. You better believe for you I've cried. I've tried. 'Cause I want you so bad, but you can't fight fire with fire. Oh, I hope I
It was just a little like registration phrasing thing. I don't even think it was bad. Like hiccup maybe, but it's just a registration thing. I have no issue with that. It maybe if she took a better breath before or created a little more occlusion in that phrase before, barely. But good ear. That was a good catch. You better believe for you I've cried. High tides. Because I want you so bad, but you can't fight fire with fire. And I think that what you just said, half the world, I don't know what that word is trying to be, but I'm assuming, you know, they applaud her for weight loss and the other half are angry about her weight loss. And it's like, you can't win. You can't fight fire with fire. And what's great about these lyrics is that you can interpret it so many different ways. I want you so bad, but you can't fight fire with fire. It's like, does she want the crowds? That makes sense. She wants the support of all the people that love her and support her, or maybe they don't like her, but she still wants their support. But it's like a losing battle to go for that. This is such a good song.
The brunt of it all, 'cause you're all I've got left. Oh, I hope in time both will find peace of mind. Sometimes the road less traveled is the road best left behind. Oh, I hope I learn to get over myself. Stop trying to be somebody else. Oh, I just want to love you for free. Yeah. 'Cause everybody wants something from you. You just want me. You better believe and try. But the higher we climb, feels like we're both none the wiser.
So low, so high. Yeah. I mean, her voice sits so low anyway, but that was beautiful. I love that this song is called I Drink Wine, but I think that line only comes up once in the song. Maybe once or twice. But it hits such a deeper note, When she started doing the finger guns.
Want something from
Is that a real London thing? Let's see.
somebody else. Oh, I just want to love you for free. Yeah. 'Cause everybody wants something from you. You just want me. You better believe and try.
And one of the really smart things she's doing vocally at this point is this is a real belty, very R&B bluesy song. Background singers sound amazing. It does have that old-timey vibe. Right? She does have that full performer experience, recognizable voice, confidence, and there's, you don't think that there's anything going on in her head, in her body, other than I'm here delivering this song, right? Vocally, one really cool thing she's doing is she's splitting the difference between like head voice and chest voice really intelligently to even out the pressure as she goes, because she still has an incredibly chesty, pressurized belt voice that requires a little bit more effort in the voice, but she balances it out by having those little moments of head voice to really give the chords a break without easing up on the breath. Obviously, this is a new-ish technique, so Sproulus, that little hiccup you heard earlier, this isn't the same way she's been singing her whole life. Most singers at this level are relying on a technique that they've just got at the beginning, and they just went along with it, and it worked really well for them. But for Adele, it's like totally, every time she's had that voice surgery, it's like learning an entirely new instrument, which is so, so underestimated. Take care, Yop. Have a great weekend. Be good, and if you're not, be careful. I love that. Definitely. Always be careful.
'Cause everybody wants something from
There's Chesty and Hetty, Chesty. And what ends up happening is just beautiful phrasing with so many dynamics that she can go in and out of that just capture you as a listener. And there's a reason she is just one of the all-time greatest superstars. You know, it would be interesting to me to hear, you know, how her career would overlap with like Amy Winehouse. She had Amy Winehouse, you know, if she were still alive, because I think they have very similar aesthetics, and as you know, artists grow, they do different things and that kind of thing. But she reminds me of that at this point. You know, the way she's singing, the kind of soul, the emotion, a little more positivity, of course. But that's just a thought. The only regret I have, I wish that it was just at a different time, a most turbulent period of my life. Why would I put that on you? That's just like a very heavy thing to have to talk about. But because of that period of time, even though it was so much fun, I didn't get to go on and make new memories with him. There was just memories in a big storm. So it goes from this, the world's crazy to me, I'm going to just drink some wine, you know, things aren't how they used to be. And then she gets wrapped up. This is a beautiful story. She gets wrapped up in all of these pressures of the world on her. And the resolve is kind of an acceptance of a very difficult time in her life. An acceptance, and it's really beautiful that way. Because oftentimes the pain we feel in the moment, the things that we kind of nebulously pin on people, on others, on ourselves, a lot of blame on ourselves for a lot of different things, can often be drawn back. There can be a line drawn back to some kind of trauma, some inopportune thing that doesn't relate to anyone's negativity. No one, you know, maybe it wasn't someone's fault, but just the wrong time and place for something. And it takes a lot of coping to get to the realization of that. And I think this song is a beautiful way of telling that. She's just sitting on the stage and owning the stage. Sitting on the piano and owning the stage. I love that. It's so true, Capriani.
just for me. You better believe and try to keep climbing. But the higher we climb, feels like we're both none the wiser.
There's so much color always. Oh, I want to see that.
This song, every night that I've played since Amy Winehouse died, I've been singing it for her because I know that she loved this song. And I was so inspired by her. And she never took it seriously just how inspired I was by her. And she was such a joker and such a lovely girl. And it's just devastating, really. But I've been asking everyone to put, if they've got a camera or a phone, if you can get it out and put the light on and shine it. Come on, I can see one. Honestly, trust me, it looks incredible. All up there, I know you've all got phones. No one exists without a phone no more. Get your phone or camera out. All of you, can you turn the lights down a tiny bit, please, Rob, so I can start seeing who's doing it and who's not. There are chunks missing, do it. Balconies, boxes, come on.
Her speaking voice is so beautiful, and the accent, you know, doesn't hurt. You're right, it's a great accent. But her speaking voice is so lovely to listen to.
Everyone get your phone and cameras out. I'll just stand here, I won't sing. That's it, get it out, get it out, get it out. And then look behind you and look, it's a fucking sky of stars. Looks amazing. And she can see us now. She can see us from upstairs. Does this make you feel my love for Amy? When the rain is blowing in your face and the could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there is no one there to dry your tears, oh, I will hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong.
I know this is like a really emotional and touching moment, but it's also the technique she's using. You can hear the difference in the most recent recording from 2022 that we just listened to. She goes back and forth between a really nice chest voice and a belty sound to a head voice. Here she's kind of splitting the difference, and it wears, but there is something there that adds the pain to her singing that you feel as a listener. It's a really interesting thing to think about. Does the damage in her voice, does the inefficiency in her voice add to the emotional impact of her singing?
I've known it from the moment that we met. There's no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I go black and blue, and
She doesn't
I go
have a light on her.
rolling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. Yeah, yeah. The storms are raging on the rolling seas, and on that highway of regret, the winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. There's nothing that I wouldn't do. I'd go to the ends of this earth for you to make you feel my love. Oh, yes, to make you feel my love.
This was worth the DMCA police knocking down my door and arresting me. Amazing. Spralos, thank you for bringing Adele into our life once again. It's amazing. Fantastic. Ugh.